All right, guys. I want to make this video about waves here. Now, I'm I'm going to sell my waves. There's absolutely no strength at this point. Now, we could get a bounce up, and that could bounce 10, 15, 20%. But what I want to say is it really is starting to remind me of SXP. There is just there has been absolutely no strength whatsoever. Now, if you look down here, look at this. There's still a 20% bounce. You can still bounce 20% from the very lows down here. Now, if I move that away, you can see that they both dropped 70% at that point in time. Okay, so they're almost identical at this point. Now, can we 20% bounces from the lows? There's definitely room for a little bit of a bounce on waves up here, but overall, it's really just starting to remind me. Look at the previous base in here. I didn't really draw that right. I suppose we'll put that there. And you can kind of see right here as well, something very similar. Just not really getting any strength at all from a severe drop. And that's not, see, it's not a good sign because as Paul Tudor Jones used to say, that you don't want to be on the slowest horse. You want to be on the fastest horse, right? So So to be safe in this situation, you don't really want to get caught. Like, for example, if we're here right now, you can see that we have not touched the white 100 moving average over here. We've not touched it here. There's more consolidation. We need consolidation here, and there is likely to be a 10, 15% bounce here at least. Um, but the reaction has been so poor that it's leading me to believe that we will end up dropping down lower like SXP. SXP. And that, if we're here right now, you can see what actually happened in the longer term. Um, we got one more flush, then we got that bounce back up. This is a very nice buying opportunity. You can make a lot of money if we get one more flush down on these coins. 70% bounce. You can nearly double your account on that even on spot. Um, and if you understand that the bounce back into the red 200 moving average, um, is likely to be a sell signal, right? So to be on the safe side, if we did get another flush here, there definitely could be an opportunity to bounce back up eventually. At some point we will get a decent bounce on this market. Now, when is that bounce? Well, we've been waiting on it and we haven't really got it yet. So if something like this happens, we can keep our eyes open and try and get that. You can bump your account right up there if you can catch these really, really, really oversold and catch that oversold bounce. And it might coincide with a new 2 week candle. It might be a new 3 month candle. That's in 25 days time or whatever. It's tough to say right now when that big bounce is going to come, but we will get it. And if we can catch that, you can almost double your account on these bounces, on spot. And it's I'm not saying it's a good idea to put your whole account on the one thing, but when things really align, if that's a new 3 month candle, for example, um, you definitely can get these 50 to 70% bounces. So we just need to be patient. At this point, waves is showing no strength whatsoever. I still expect a bit of a bounce, but if something plays out similar, this could very well roll over into a bit of a bearish market. Uh, you can see what happened. It'll eventually. Let me go to a bigger time frame. It'll eventually drop down and give us a buy signal down here to move back up, right? And when we move back up, there's the potential then for hundreds and hundreds of percent gains. So at this point, I think SXP is a very good example of worst case scenario, and it's also not a very bad case scenario. For example, if you start averaging in down here or whatever, you definitely can make a few 100% when this market comes back up, because you can see in these sharp drops, the market will want to come back up. So it's at some point, even if this fails down here and starts rolling back out, at some point it's going to come back up. So we need to just find when it's going to do that. and you can see down here on SXP, right? We put in that bottom, and a lot of people were thinking there was a bottom, right? They were thinking there was a bottom. I made a video. See the large volume right here? I made a video saying that the bottom on SXP is going to be down below here. If you actually look over here on the 1st of December, that's when I made the video, somewhere down here, and I said that the bottom is going to be just below this point on the chart, right? I said that the bottom on SXP was going to be down here. You can go and watch the video if you like, but what I'm trying to say is the market will give us clues for that bottom, right? The market will give us, and I made a video on it here, watch for a potential bottom, and it could explode higher. And you know, I absolutely nailed that. Absolutely nailed that, and it's part to do with the stuff that we teach and talk about in here. And so, you know, if you picked up on that signal, you were buying the bottom in the market, and from here, well, if you did, you know, I mean, I'm not going to say you're going to catch the exact bottom, the exact top, but there was 800% potential profits. Now, even for example, if you had $100,000, you know, you can nearly make $1 million just off that one run. And this is what I'm saying, that when these coins bottom, if we do come down and start rounding back out again and show these potential signs, you know, there's going to be a lot of opportunity again to make a lot of money. You just need to protect your capital. Protect your capital in this shit, in this chop, and the good opportunities, you know, they will present themselves, you know, and move back up or whatever. It's frustrating. I'm more frustrated than anybody. I hate chop, and you know, the partly the reason, you know, I can try and put out loads and loads of trades, but there's not really that much point yet. It's better to preserve capital, and even if it takes a month, you will still have all your capital or whatever, and you know, then buy the safer options for the bigger moves. Now, I'm not saying that this situation is going to play out. I'm just saying that if this sort of situation plays out, you know, not all is lost. It's actually bringing even more opportunity, right? So, and as frustrating as it is, you know, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. Now, for example, from that point to the absolute bottom was 92 days, right? That's quite a long period of time. Now, to the bottoming process, it was, oh, sorry, did I count that right? Yeah, 91 days, sorry. But to this bottoming process where we started the bottom down here, that was 40 days away. So that's basically saying a new 3-month candle can potentially actually give us that bottom, right? And actually start moving back up. So I just want to put this warning out there that waves, you know, is not seeing much strength. So be prepared to, and make sure you have a stop loss on waves, or take some profits into a little bit of a bounce up here, just in case.